General Allen, do you know of any military leader that recommended in 2009 that the President make an announcement in 2011 of drawdown of troops?
I do not, Senator.
Do you know of any military leader that recommended the drawdown plan that the President announced last week?
I do not, Senator.
Does it surprise you that after the President's announcement that President Sarkozy, the British, other of our allies have now announced that they will be withdrawing from Afghanistan?
It does not, Senator.
Did you see the picture in the paper over the weekend of President Karzai and the Ayatollah Khomeini sitting down at a meeting pledging friendship, support for one another?
I didn't see the picture, sir, but I was aware of the meeting.
Is it true that IEDs manufactured in Iran are still coming across the border into Afghanistan and killing Americans?
I believe they are, sir.
Did you hear of the statement of the leader of the Taliban field commander Jamal Khan told the Daily Beast of his reaction to Mr. Obama's speech, quote, "My soul and the soul of thousands of Taliban who have been blown up are happy. I had more than 50 encounters with the U.S. forces and their technology, but the biggest difference in ending this war was not technology, but the more powerful Islamic ideology and religion." Are you aware of that statement by the leader of the Taliban?
I am, Senator.
Is the President's announcement of this withdrawal make your job hard, if you're confirmed, I'm sure you will be, harder or more difficult and more challenging or easier?
Senator, that's a difficult question to answer, sir.
I'm sure it is. That's why I asked it.
and not being confirmed yet, and not being the commander, I have no ability to assess it with great accuracy at this particular moment. As the chairman said, the announced decision was a bit more aggressive than we had anticipated.
No commander ever wants to sacrifice fighting power in the middle of a war, and no decision to demand that sacrifice is ever without risk. This is particularly true in a counterinsurgency. In a counterinsurgency, firepower is manpower. I do not intend to discuss the specifics of the private advice I rendered with respect to these decisions. As I said, I support them. What I can tell you is the President's decisions are more aggressive and incur more risk than I was originally prepared to accept. More force for more time is, without doubt, the safer course.
As the chairman said, the announced decision was a bit more aggressive than we had anticipated. And there's a lot that has to happen between now and the end of this year, sir, and the end of the period of the drawdown. And
General, I understand why it'd be difficult for you to answer that question. I appreciate that, and I appreciate your answer. I believe that I have talked to probably 20 retired and active duty military leaders since the President's announcement was made, and it's very obvious that the challenges are now enormous. The question is whether we will still be able to succeed or not, and I appreciate your willingness and your patriotism to take on what is obviously a dramatically increased risk. The Economist states again this week, Mr. Obama would only have himself to blame if, for entirely domestic political reasons, he undermines the conditions for a security transition to Afghan national forces. His rush for the exit could yet end up delaying the very thing he is hoping for. I think that summarizes the views of most.
The option that the country has chosen through President Obama is to withdraw 10,000 this year, all surge forces gone by September. Is it fair to say, General Allen, that was not one of the options presented to the President by General Petraeus?
It is a more aggressive option than that which was presented.
My question is, was that a option?
It was not.
So I just want the country to understand that this is not the Petraeus strategy any longer. The Commander-in-Chief has the perfect right to do what he did. I just hope that it hasn't undercut what I think could be a very successful outcome. Now, perception is reality. Do you agree, General Allen, that when the President announced at West Point that we would be withdrawing in July 2011, that created a problem in Afghanistan because it was seen by some as that America's leaving?
I believe there are those who could have...
Were letters sent to people by the Taliban saying, America's leaving in July, you better watch what you do? Something to that effect.
The Taliban have, in fact, communicated that.
Have we sent the signal yet again of uncertainty? It seems to be the Taliban commanders are renewed optimism, and it seems to be some of our allies are going to Iran and other places. My question is, do you believe that this more aggressive withdrawal policy by the President has sent a signal of uncertainty, or do you know?
I think it's too early to tell, Senator.
Great answer.